What's up, everyone? It's Crow here, and it's time for me to do a movie review. Today's movie review is going to be on a movie that I really wanted to review for quite a while, and now I'm finally reviewing it today. And it's a movie that's a big, huge part of my childhood, and I remembered watching that movie a lot when I was little. And it's also a 2004 movie from Disney and Pixar, which I already know what y'all might think it is, and that would be the 2004 film, The Incredibles. So, The Incredibles is about Bob Parr, aka Mr. Incredible, who's voiced by Craig T. Nelson, who is, of course, getting ready to go to a wedding to marry Helen, aka Elastigirl, who's played by Holly Hunter. But Mr. Incredible did some good deeds first, like helping a cat out of a tree, arresting a mugger, and even saved someone who apparently didn't want to be saved, and stopped a train from falling off a track. But but then but then after Bob got married, there was a lot of news stories of Mr. Incredible saving someone that didn't want to be saved, and a lot of people think that the world doesn't really need superheroes anymore. So as a result, Bob, as well as the rest of the other superheroes, permanently stopped becoming superheroes and moved on to their different lives. And years later, Bob, who is now a dad, works as a stockbroker, uh, and and he's pretty alright with his job as a stockbroker, but he but he does miss being a superhero. But then later on in the movie, um, this woman named Mirage wants Bob to come over to an island called Nomanison, and that's where he meets this guy named Syndrome, who was called Buddy when he was a kid. Buddy was that kid that Bob didn't want his help with because, well, he doesn't want a child to be in danger, which is why he didn't want Buddy to be a sidekick or anything, which really hurt Buddy's feelings, and that's when he became Syndrome, who's the villain of the movie. It's basically up to Mr. Incredible, along with his family, to stop Syndrome, and that's basically what the plot is. My opinion on this movie, I gotta say, like everybody else says, this movie is totally incredible and pretty funny too. Uh, this movie is a huge part of my childhood, and I loved it ever since I was little, and now that I'm 17, I still love it to this day. Yeah, The Incredibles is a really awesome movie with really great action sequences and really great funny scenes, humor, and as well as even great visual effects. Like I like the scene where Mr. Incredible and Frozone were at that building that was on fire saving people. That was a really cool scene. I also like the family dinner fight scene, which I honestly thought that scene was pretty funny when I was little, and I still kind of find it a bit funny to this day. And a lot of the characters are very likable. Out of all of the characters, I gotta say, Mr. Incredible is my favorite. Mr. Incredible, or Bob, is a really awesome character, and he's pretty strong too. And I really like strong characters. Dash is also a great character too. I like the fact that he runs really fast and that he's speedy. He's a really good character. I also like Violet. She's pretty good. And Elastigirl is a pretty good character too. I gotta say, she's a really good, loving, and caring mom. And I love how she stretches. And I even like Frozone. And I gotta say, Samuel L. Jackson does a really impressive job voicing Frozone. And Frozone is a pretty funny character too, because there was this really hilarious scene where Frozone shouts, "Honey, where's my super suit? Where is my super suit?" Let me tell you that where's my super suit scene never gets old, and I still find it funny to this day. And Syndrome is a really awesome villain too. I loved Syndrome ever since I was little, and I still really like Syndrome to this day. Yeah, Syndrome's a really great villain, even though he can be pretty harsh at times, he's still a really awesome villain. And Jason Lee does a really great job voicing Syndrome, and I gotta say, in my perspective, Syndrome is one of Jason Lee's best roles he ever did in his career. Yeah, I love Syndrome. Really awesome villain. And I also like Jack Jack. He's a really awesome superhero baby who can turn to metal and turn to fire, and he even did a good job stopping Syndrome. Jack Jack was a really cute baby and a pretty awesome hero too. I gotta say, the fact that having a baby being a superhero is pretty unusual and great at the same time. And I thought Brad Bird did a really awesome job directing it, and Michael Giacchino did a good job scoring it. So, oh yeah, there's also really another funny scene that I like, and it's also a beloved scene from The Incredibles. I like the scene where Dash's teacher was shouting at the principal's office. That scene was really hilarious, especially when Dash's teacher shouted, "Coincidence? I think not," and then did a really creepy stare. That was really hilarious. And then, of course, in the end of the movie, we got this villain named the Underminer, who's voiced by John Ratzenberger, who apparently voices every character in every Pixar movie. Yeah, as we all know, John Ratzenberger voiced cameos in every Pixar movie. And I gotta say, John Ratzenberger did a good job voicing the Underminer. And I like how the Underminer says, "Behold, the Underminer." Yeah, really iconic line right here. So, therefore, there's nothing else I could say about The Incredibles. To those of you who haven't seen The Incredibles yet, honestly, you're under a rock. You should totally watch it. I highly recommend it. It's one of the greatest Pixar movies of all time, and it's one of my favorite movies from my childhood, and even everyone's childhood, honestly. And it's a really great film, really incredible movie. So for my final rating of The Incredibles, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 stars. One of the greatest movies Pixar's ever made, and a really incredible and awesome movie from 2004. So there you have it, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed my review on The Incredibles. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is me saying, peace out.